Hi, my name is Alejandro Pérez Pérez, and this is the AI Coffee Podcast. Every week, you will have one disruptive aspect of technology and artificial intelligence for the time you drink a cup of coffee. Today, I'm alone. This is one of the episodes I'm alone, talking about myself, talking about my experience, and talking about the future of this podcast. Well, how are you? It's been a while without any kind of episode, any kind of post. I'm sorry for that, but there is a good reason that you will see during this episode. So, well, for the ones that they don't know me yet, my name is Alejandro Pérez Pérez, and I said at the beginning of the podcast. And the idea of this podcast was to create content about technology, AI, like a topic that really passionates me, and share it with you, share it with a person that maybe wants to learn a bit about AI, wants to learn a bit about data, about technology, but maybe they don't really want to focus on these super technical aspects, and more they want to focus on the human part of it, the social aspects, and how is going to be the impact on your life because of AI, right? So yeah, I stopped the podcast, as you have been seeing, have been noticed, for a couple of months because I decided to become a freelance. I started being a freelance on February 2024, even though I was still continuing working like in a company in Fujitsu. But I started doing something on my own, teaching in different master's degrees and universities. Also, I was starting with new projects that I will maybe talk a bit about them during the next episodes. And the idea is like I decided to stop for a while because there was really too much. I was a little bit burnout, and that was a very complicated decision. But at the end of the day, even though I do this because I like, there is a lot of work behind the scenes that you don't see. For example, I don't want to talk a lot about that, but working inside a podcast means that you need to look for people to interview, to prepare the interviews, also to create, I don't know, the covers, to put everything on all the networks and share it with a lot of people. So I was really, really tired, and already becoming a freelance with everything that is like around this, and also continuing in my job was really hard. So this is why I stopped for a while, and I really needed to tell you sorry because it's been a lot of time. But now, today, I'm recording this. We are at the end of September 2024, and I have good news for you. The third season of the podcast is starting. And I'm really happy, really excited because until now I have recorded, I think, around 15 interviews. So I have a lot of content. Now, this time, this season, I'm doing a little bit different things. So the first thing is that maybe you have noticed at the beginning that I say that the podcast is weekly. It's not going to be every 2 weeks. It's going to be every week, one disruptive aspect of technology and AI. So every week now you will have one episode. I already recorded really, really insightful interviews. So I have a lot of buffer for the next week. So I promise that I will have content for you for a lot of time. And then I will combine it. So you will see the interview once every 2 weeks, and the other week you will see one episode like this, myself alone, talking about AI, about technology, about something I learned or I discovered recently, and also sharing maybe more professional tips, personal aspects that maybe are relevant for you. Because as a, let's say, a freelance intern, I'm saying to my friends usually that I'm learning to become a freelance because there is like it's a job to become a freelance and to learn all the papers you need to do and everything. So by learning this, I think I can also share with you some of my insights, some also things, tips I discover. And yeah, I think they are going to be also valuable for some of you. So this is the idea. Welcome back. Thank you for waiting for me. Some of you already wrote me asking for more episodes. So here you have them. I hope you will enjoy this season as me, because I really love doing this. So I hope you will enjoy it as me. And just for finishing this episode, because I don't want just to create the first episode like that, just with news, I want also to share with you some of my first thoughts as a freelance. As I said before, I started as a freelance at the beginning of 2024, and it means that I have been a freelance for around 6 months. So I'm also based on Spain in the European Union, and I don't know if in your countries how it is to be a freelance, but in Spain sometimes it's very tough. I don't want to complain about taxes and all that stuff that I think they are necessary, but there is like a lot of paper stuff that you need to do. And of course, I have a person that helps me a lot. Thank you, lady, if you are listening to this. Yeah, I really need a person to take in charge of all the invoices and all that stuff that usually is very complicated. Um, but I think also it's a way to learn about law, about like money, about taxes, about a lot of things. So I'm not complaining about that. It's more the feel of the thing of, wow, it is like a huge thing, a huge ocean that I need to learn. But yeah, I'm learning. So little by little. Um, the good thing of becoming a freelance is like I feel really motivated for what I am doing. In my last position, let's say, um, I was fine. I was really fine in Fujitsu, and being honest, I'm really happy for having been there, and also I met a lot of good people and good opportunities over there. But that's true that when you are in a big company, sometimes you are really fixed on a specific position, and it is very hard for any person in a big corporation to change, to grow. And if you are a person as me that are curious and have a lot of different interests, it has been a little bit tough during the last years to be able to implement everything that I really wanted to do in this position. So this is why I said to me, okay, I would like to try as a freelance. And just because of this podcast, I had the first project, and also it was really interesting. Well, I will tell you in another video maybe more details about this project, but this is related to one of the episodes I did recently, so you can maybe guess who. And the idea is like with this person, I started to implement a machine learning model and working with AWS, and also working with new things that even though I haven't already touching on my own, it was the first time. So I was really, really motivated by doing that. And also, after doing that, a lot of opportunities were appearing. For example, I was working with a recruitment company. That's very funny, but I mean, it was really interesting actually working with that, and I was helping them with technical exam, let's say, that they did for some people that wanted to be in one specific position for another company. So I was working with this company, recruitment company, and it was very interesting, and it was really something new, something I learned from. Yeah, I met a lot of people also, and I think it was really interesting. And at this time in September, um, I'm feeling really excited about everything because it feels like I have the opportunity of learning a lot of things. Now I'm learning a lot about chatbots, for example, with AI. This is another thing I haven't started. And I guess you can do a lot of things with AI and technology, as I said, in many different scenarios, companies. Yeah, I also love teaching. This is something I'm doing in one university. I'm teaching in a master degree of big data, and also I'm teaching directly to other companies that want to learn about AI. And you know what? There's like a lot of people that have never used ChatGPT, for example. So it's very, very interesting to be there and helping them to start with something that really resonates me. So these are the good things for me. As you can see, I'm very motivated, really honestly motivated for that. But the bad things, let's say, are the fears. Not only like, I mean, paper stuff and all that stuff that I think that's obvious because I'm running a business. So of course, there is like a lot of things I need to do. But fears, like fears I have myself, usually I think they are the for me the most complicated ones. And before creating this episode, I was thinking, okay, what I want to share with you. But I would say that for me, what I'm learning the most is talking about money, selling myself, and also talking about me, like from my personal perspective, because sometimes I have the feeling, and let me know what do you think, but I have the feeling that when you are in the professional world and the corporate world, whatever, I mean, on LinkedIn, something like that, it's very hard to talk personally about yourself. Usually, you are focused on your challenges, about what you have done. I mean, a certification you did, a use case of something you did really, really well, you somewhere where you were really successful. But talking about you, I think, is something really hard. Talking from your heart also. So that's a challenge for me. I'm trying to, because this is very important for me. I discovered that my personal values, being ethical, being respectful for humans, they are really important for me, these values. And I discovered that this is something that I appreciate a lot for the people I'm working with. And I wouldn't like at all to work for another kind of people. So I said to me, okay, the first thing I need to do is to talk from my heart, from my values, and talk a bit about it. So yeah, that was really hard. I'm learning, still learning about that. And yeah, I said prices. Prices thing is very hard. I don't know in other cultures, but in the Spanish one, usually talking about money, talking about prices, talking about all that stuff is very hard if you have never done it yet. And of course, if you are in a company, before I was like already mm, working with like predictions of money budgets and stuff like that, and it was okay because it was like big numbers that are from money from the company, and it was very different. But now when I talk about money, I talk about my time. I talk about the time I work, the energy I put into the project. I talk also about the myself, my background, how valuable my work is, and sometimes it's very tricky. So I'm learning. I would say that these are my main things that I need to learn, and to fight a little bit too. But well, little by little, this is the purpose of this podcast, also to talk a bit about it. And if you are starting also being a freelance, letting you know that there is like a lot of people like me, like you, that have more or less the same feelings, the same fears. So it's good also to be to share it with friends, to share it with other people, to create a small community around. And hopefully, I am doing that. So yeah, little by little, I'm learning a lot, I think, and I'm very, very happy and thankful for all these people that are helping me in many different ways. So you will see that in a couple of months, I will change the website. I have already at that time create a personal brand, which means like I have a new logo, a new design, because I was working with a brand agency for that. Well, also I'm working with people that help me in terms of business or business plan, strategy, and there is like a lot of work. But as I said at the beginning, it's something really interesting. And as I am a curious person, yeah, I'm really happy for doing that. So, Joel, well, I will stop more or less around here today. You're not going to talk about any personal coffee like preferences, because as I said at the beginning, I love all types of coffee. But well, let's hope that you could have a coffee now, like you are maybe starting. I don't know. You will listen to this, I think, around October. So let's hope that, but this time you are starting autumn time. So take a cup of coffee, enjoy, and yeah, let's see for the next episodes. And yeah, you will maybe learn a lot. Please let me know also your comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any kind of suggestion for me, for my business, for my podcast, everything is fine. Sometimes created content as a podcast could be really solitary because I create this content, I put it on Spotify, put it on YouTube, in many platforms. But at the end of the day, I know that many of you are listening to this, are watching this, but almost a couple contact me or put some comments in the post, and sometimes it's very necessary because sometimes it's very demanding. So if you have 1 minute, please comment this, and it will be really helpful for me for continuing the podcast. And if you have suggestions, I'm also here for listening to them. So let's put the outro. Have a nice day, have a nice week, enjoy, and passionate your life, feel passionate about something, and see you next time. Bye bye.